Do you ever look to your intuition on things, or do you try and remove that? Is there a fear that intuition isn't intuition, that it's maybe like a past experience? Like you said, you had a successful trade on a company before. How do you know what? Do you believe in intuition with trading?
Intuition, is this a distillation of previous experience, or is it tapping into something bigger? And that clearly is something we're not going to answer here. Certainly you can become very intuitive, but I think that you've got to be very, very, very present to access that intuition. And if you're not careful, that can be ego. So knowing the difference between intuition and ego is quite something. Now, in that book that I talked about some minutes ago called Trading in the Zone, Mark Douglas, the late Mark Douglas, talks about a mechanical trading exercise in the same way as Gann did. And then he makes the point that after you've made money using a fairly mechanical plan, and in the book, if you haven't got a mechanical plan, Mark would always talk about the Fibonacci patterns. If you emailed him and said, I want to do your exercise, but I haven't got a plan, he refers you to the Fibonacci patterns that I just talked about. And the next chapter after the mechanical plan is the intuitive chapter. And you don't have to make that jump, but that's the next step. And certainly intuition, if it is intuition, is the black belt. There's no doubt about that. And it comes and goes. So I think if you're very honest with yourself, you can certainly make that step. But it's a step that one has to be very careful about, because you're not quite sure whether it's intuition or ego. Ego being mine's bigger than yours, okay? And it's something that I haven't been that successful with in terms of being consistent. My trading partner, Tom, is a very intuitive trader, okay? And I'll be sitting waiting for the market to come to a level to buy, and he's shouting from the other side of the room, just buy the bloody thing. I'm very much more a tick the boxes type trader, and maybe that comes from the engineering background. And certainly in the stock market, when I tick there's a lot of boxes to tick in the stock market: fundamentals, technicals of the share, technicals of the general market. When you tick all the boxes, you get very, very lucky indeed. When I stick to my patterns, my Fibonacci patterns, and you only need that one pattern, except that you'd get very bored just trading one pattern. When I stick to that, then things go well. I have periods of incredible intuition that lasts for weeks on end, and then sometimes it goes. It really does go, and it normally goes because of success. Okay, and that little pituitary gland is pumping out all this stuff into your bloodstream. You think you're God, and all of a sudden the Grim Reaper comes along.
Just to remind you that you're not.
That's right.